letting people in.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Good to see you again on Piano Tech Radio Hour. Getting a good chunk of people in here today. Maybe some new folks. Also, there's some familiar faces. How's it going? Good to see you, Larry. Good to see you, Wayne, once again. Elde, good to see you too. Moshe, great to see you as well. Looks like gotta let a few more people in here and then we'll get rolling up. Hello, hello. Oh, is that your brother? I think your brother's here, Matej.
Maybe.
That's
if
cool.
it's Luca, then yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome.
Hello.
He's just joined his audio. Okay, great. All right, we got a good start here, and I'm sure some other people will join as we continue. Let me just change some settings here. Let me do a spotlight of our main participants today. And yeah, good to see everyone here today. I'm going to start rolling into the session and letting people in as we go here. Looking to be a very fun one today. So welcome to Piano Tech Radio Hour. We gather here every Saturday to meet with and learn from the most fascinating, we got more people jumping in. Let me make sure they're ready. The most fascinating and knowledgeable folks in the piano world, including manufacturers, rebuilders, musicians, makers of other instruments, and of course, piano techs. Our mutual goal is to become better at our craft, to help each other, and to create an ever more musical world together. Piano Tech Radio Hour is brought to you by Piano Technicians Masterclasses, an online learning resource that brings you cutting-edge instruction without leaving your home. You can find out more at www.pianotechniciansmasterclass.com. And you see here with me on the video feature our guest today. I'll make an introduction of him. His name is Matej Jovanovic. He is a concert pianist and creator of a brand called Piano Worldwide. He graduated having studied piano in the soloist department in France from the National Conservatory under Jasmina Kulaglic. Hopefully I pronounced that appropriately. And Matej gave his first public performance at the age of 8, so he's been at this for quite a while. Since then, he's played over 50 concerts in multiple European countries, including Serbia, France, Slovenia, Italy, and Austria. Matej played a Piano Worldwide European concert tour through 5 cities in 2019: Bari, Verona, Vienna, Radlovica,
in Slovenia, yeah.
In Slovenia and Pančevo. The live concerts were also watched by 10,000 people via online at the Piano Worldwide Instagram live stream. So let's welcome Matej to the program today. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining in, and thank you for the invitation, Ethan.
Yeah,
so it's great to be here.
Good. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And we've got some of your music we'll queue up at some point. You know, I was actually thinking of playing some things later, but maybe it makes sense actually. Let me pull up a recording to start us. We'll play a little bit of something just so people can get a little bit of a sense of kind of your skill at the piano and, you know, where you're coming from. And then we'll start the conversation. A person like you, the music speaks for itself, right?
Exactly.
All right, let's take a quick look. we'll cut it short because we're here to talk a little bit and get to know you a little bit better. But that was awesome. Thanks for sharing that as
Thank
well.
you.
Appreciate it. And we have another sample. I think if we get to it, I'd like to play a little bit of Ravel. But yeah, so what I wanted to jump in here to start is we gave a bit of your bio, but let's talk a little bit more about your background. You know, in terms of learning the piano, it seems like you've taken it pretty seriously from an early age. Was that just your natural inclination? You know, did you have some, you know, hard driving parents or like a specific teacher that, you know, was very passionate? How did it come to be that you got so passionate about piano early on?
Yeah, well, from in my family, I don't have any professional musician. Almost anybody didn't play even any instrument. So I remember, and it took me a few years to start remembering how I initially got the idea of playing music and especially piano. So when I was around 5 or 6 years, and I was in the kindergarten, so one teacher took us to elementary school in my hometown in Pančevo in Serbia, and we went there like almost every week. And I just have the fragments of the memory after returning into the kindergarten after the concerts in musical school. I was drawing something, and even today I have that drawing of my teacher because she was playing at that time piano. She came up to the stage and played some pieces. I cannot remember what, but I remember I was drawing her with the piano. So at that moment, piano somehow stuck in my head like something gracious and then something very interesting that I need to discover. And 2 years later, I was asking my mother, like, when will you take me to the music school? And at that point, I'm maybe interested in music because, you know, they are really open-minded, and they didn't want to force us, neither me or my brother, who is actor. They didn't want to force us to do anything, but they would just listen to us and our wishes and trying to, you know, make that possible. So of course, my mother took me to the musical school, and instantly I of course got in because, you know, it's easy to get in elementary school at that moment. Luckily, I was there was space for piano, so I started playing it. And, you know, in first year, I just somehow got an idea that that is something that I need to do like for the rest of my life, because it's something very interesting. And after just 1 year, I got to some competitions. I got the first prize, and at that moment, I told my mother, you know, I want a white baby grand piano when I get into academy, and I will be a pianist one day. So
Okay.
so it was just like that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. No, that's definitely a great story of some real passion around music. And yeah, I didn't really have musicians in my family. You know, some people picked up an instrument here and there. Apparently my grandfather played saxophone, but probably a similar story. You know, there wasn't a lot of pressure around it yet. You know, there were days where I was practicing eight hours, you know, and just enjoying it for what it was. So that's great to hear. So let's talk a little bit about, and how old are you now, if you don't mind, just to put it in context? So we were talking about you're starting 5 or 8. What's your age now?
Yeah, I'm currently 24. In November is my birthday, so I just turned 24.
Okay. All right, cool. Happy belated birthday.
Thanks.
So you've been at it for a while. And we talked a little bit before this about, we always love to, when we talk to a pianist, like what's their experience with the sort of technical aspects of the piano. So number one, you know, what is it like where you are in terms of the availability of like a good piano technician? Are they hard to come by? You know, are there a lot of them? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, how we are doing in Serbia, I don't know. In other countries, I think it's very similar. So at the time that I was needed a piano technician, and it was maybe 7 or 8 years after I started playing, because once we got, my parents bought me a piano, upright piano, after that competition. So 1 year after I signed in elementary music school. And at the time, some piano technician who sold me piano came there, tune everything, and that was it for the next 7 or 8 years, because we we didn't, in Serbia, we even in some schools we don't have completely tuned pianos. So I didn't have the need to tune the piano. I didn't have the awareness of that. So I was just letting that go, and I was practicing in the school, in halls, etc. And once I got the new piano, I needed a good piano technician, so I reached out to my professors, to some other pianists that I knew. They have connections, and they recommend me one guy who is, at that time, he was working also on the State Conservatory in Serbia. So I think it's on recommendation. And from that moment, at that time, a few piano technicians came to my house, and I didn't like them. So I found that one that is really good on recommendation. And after that, I'm working only with him on the job here in Serbia. So I think it's usually on recommendation.
Yeah, that makes sense. And wow, it was, like you said, it was a bit of a journey, right? Like you had people come by, and you had to say, oh well, maybe there's something better, somebody better that I could work with and find the right person. So I'm glad you found somebody good. And I understand that you're not a piano technician, but you have taken to an interest in the mechanics, maybe a little bit more than the typical pianist. When did you first start exploring how the piano works, and then how did your evolution of exploration develop?
Okay. Well, that was completely from the first day I got the piano, because it was first the August Forster upright piano, and of course, because I was practicing there for hours every day. I really liked it. So in the pauses and then in the meantime, I was always very curious to open up the piano, how it's working and everything. So I was usually removing the lead, to try having the better sound. I was trying to mess with the pedals, so it will maybe work better, etc. So it was from the first day that I had the piano to I started looking around inside.
Got it. Yeah. And how has that affected you as a piano player now that how deep have you gone? Do you know the names of the different parts in the action, or or just kind of what they look like or how they function? How deep is your knowledge at this point?
Okay. Well, in the first few years, and even until I got to the France, I was just trying to, if I had some problems, to fix it on my own, if it's small ones, as I said, with pedal or some similar things, because I had some problems. I don't know all the names of the parts. Some of them I know, some of them I know only in Serbian.
Right.
But I'm more into the mechanics on how it's working. So at one time, the wooden part that was connected to the pedal just somehow dropped out. So I was maybe 10 years at that time, and I needed to figure out how to place it back into the hole so it can work. So for example, that was my experience with this kind of work. But afterwards, once I got to the France, and when I started exploring a bit more of the grand pianos, because in here I didn't have any grand piano at home. I had only at the halls of the school, so I didn't have a lot of chance to play on them. And in France, it was like every day I was playing on the grand piano, and my teacher started telling me, Jasmina Kulaglic, my teacher there in Paris, started telling me how is it important, to sit straight, to be completely relaxed, and to try to connect with the piano and the keys itself, because once she told me, once we click the key, it's not over for sound and our controlling. So we need, after pressing the key, we need to continue to controlling the sound, because we are also giving the vibrations, and then the sound is producing better. So she completely advised me to solve my upright piano and to find the grand piano. And here in Serbia, there is one problem. There is a lot of pianos from Austria that have, I think on English is also there is English mechanics and the other ones.
Say that one more time, because you're
Okay.
breaking up every once in a
Okay.
while. So you
Mhm.
said from Austria. Tell us about it
Okay.
again.
So there is pianos in like maybe 120 years ago that are old that enough, and they had the old system of mechanics. In Serbia, we call it like Viennese from Vienna. I don't
Okay.
know if you call it the
Viennese
same
action.
on
Yeah,
English.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and there is a bunch of those pianos, and they are completely useless because in every hall you have the new system technique and mechanism. English mechanics. So I don't know if you call it the same there. So I needed to find the right one, the modern one mechanics, and she told me to get that one because after a while of practicing on the modern technique, you will be much more able to control the sound and to produce better sound in the big halls and
Yeah.
to feel, you know, complete hall.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is part of why, I mean, I've always been someone who, I have a fascination with like just the globe, you know, and all the different countries on it, and the different experiences of all the people that live in different places, right? And it's so obvious. I lived in Peru for a year and a half, and so we've talked on the program about what's the experience of a pianist in Peru, you know, or a piano tuner in Peru. You know, it's completely different, and
Yeah.
it's so interesting to hear the kind of evolution of what you needed to go through to find a piano that functioned at a, you know, a relatively close to concert style level, right? It wasn't an easy thing to like locate that piano or locate that piano technician and all these things. It's a process. Yeah, this is fascinating. Well, one thing that we know about you is that you've got like a pretty impressive social media presence, right? And I think, you know, hopefully we'll learn a little bit from you today. You know, some of us piano technicians completely ignore social media. We don't even want to bother with it, but some of us, you know, we at least give it a shot. And those that are good at it, you know, can often, you know, develop some more clientele and their reputation, have a little bit of fun with the community, stuff like that. But, you know, where was the point in your, you know, career? Clearly you use social media just like as an individual, but where's the point where you said, oh, this could be something interesting to dive into more deeply as it relates to pianos?
Okay, so once I got into the high school, music high school, the first year, so I was at that time 14 years. I started one page. I think it was called the Classical Music Art, something like that. So it was just the name. And that page was somehow fine, but it was just I didn't know at that time, but it was just the training on how the Instagram and social media works because you know it was back in 2013, I think. So the Instagram just started working, and it was mostly the picture style content, the picture platform, and it was going good. I think I had almost 10K followers, and at some point I just stopped working that. And for the next 3 years, I didn't want to make any money, to make any fame with that. It was just I just want, I don't know, to share some memes or some interesting pictures, etc.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the next 3 or 4 years, I was just working on my program on competitions and preparing, you know, for the conservatory, etc. And I didn't was thinking about that at all. And a few months before I got to Paris, it was I think 9th of August 2019 or 2018. I just opened the Instagram and I said, okay, let's try once again. I had some good experience with it. Now it's a different platform. I started using it as on my private account and sharing some content with friends. And I just wanted to try out making some community. I opened the Instagram on first day. I name it Piano Worldwide because at that time it has a sense to call it that way. And for the first few months, even after I got in Paris, I didn't notice anything, like any huge growth. I had maybe 2 or 3,000 followers, and at that time it wasn't, that high. But my main occupation on Instagram was just to post, a lot of good and quality pianists from worldwide, even the famous one and non-famous one, because previous years before that, I spent a lot of time on YouTube searching for my programs, discovering new music, new pianists, and I had a list of huge collection of videos that I knew that other people didn't see, but I just wanted to share that with them, and somehow
Just to
they started
clarify,
liking it.
when you said you
Mhm.
had a collection of videos, meaning you knew where to find them
Okay,
online?
exactly,
Or yeah.
exactly. It wasn't my video. For example,
Yeah.
it was the videos of Arthur Rubinstein or Horowitz, or for example, that there was Mazurka from Chopin of Horowitz that had, I don't know, maybe 100 views or something like that, and that is, like piece of gold. So I wanted just to share that moments of music with other, and not just repeat the same old thing, Hungarian Second Rhapsody or something like that. I wanted to discover more to people. After maybe half a year, it really started growing, and at that point, I figure out I was maybe a few months into the conservatory in Paris, and at that time I figure out, wait, this maybe can be a good thing, and this can grow huge. Let's start working, more seriously on this, and let's start thinking in advance what it can become. And at that time, my vision of what Piano Worldwide is today and what it will be in few years from now just came, and I just started writing everything, and it just started smoothly growing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and it's great that it's worked. It's worked pretty well for you. I mean, I'm sure it's you've had moments where it grew, and then moments where it kind of plateaued a little bit, and then it takes off again. Maybe we'll take a look at some of those pages and things soon. But I think first, before that, just a few things that you noticed, like were there moments where you noticed, like, okay, now I've got another stage of growth here because I started doing this, a certain type of content or a certain type of engagement or interaction? Like, what have you noticed are maybe some of the powerful moments along the journey where it took you to a next level, or you did something that was surprising?
Okay, so well, first of all, Instagram throughout the years, what I noticed is changing a lot as the YouTube. They are changing a lot of their algorithms. So it's not really easy to say what makes it good back then. Now I know what is working at the moment, but of course. One thing is for sure, for every platform, and especially for Instagram, consistency and posting a few times a day. It's something that I discovered that is very, very useful. Absolutely tracking of analytics, and at that moment, because I was posting not only other videos. Now I'm and we as a Piano Worldwide are producing also our content, so it's a bit different approach. But at that moment, we needed to find the video that will make the huge blast, and after that one video, popular video, viral video, everything that you're posting for the next few weeks, it's just getting more views, and at that time you just need to be consistent every day to post around 2 to 3 times per day at least, and that was the main thing that I was doing back then.
Cool. And I'm just looking over here. Maybe we'll take a quick look then at some of this stuff, and maybe you can even explain like some of the posts that you've made. I'll share a link here in the chat. Let me share a couple links so that people can have them on hand. Let's see here. First of all, we've got, I could tell this is just a central website where people can find you. Probably is not the focus of what you do in terms of the promotion, but it's something people should check out because it's a central place where they can check things out. I'll also put this on our Facebook and YouTube so that people can check that out. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll share the other links to a couple things. People can maybe find a few other things on their own. But so there's just put out the Instagram for Piano Worldwide out on YouTube and Facebook, and we'll get the YouTube maybe as well, so people can take a quick look at that if they want to find it. And the recording will be up on Facebook and YouTube as well, so that's for people to check out. And then actually really quickly while we're at it, I will share some joining information out on Facebook and YouTube in case people want to join us here. So we'll get the invite link if you're out on Facebook and YouTube. Here's looking at you. I'll give you the link if you want to jump in the Zoom call and check us out. That'll be fun. All right, so let's take a quick look here at the browser, and we'll check out some of the stuff you've been working on, because it's pretty cool, pretty impressive. All right, there we go. All right, cool. So first of all, and tell me if you have any issues seeing the screen over there. I think you got it set up right. So this is just your website. Again, it's kind of a central hub for people to come and take a look at where to link to everything and see what you're up to. Maybe tell me a little bit about the brands that you've worked with and things like that while we're looking at these. What's been your experience working with brands?
Okay, so after we got around 50K or something like that, some brands started approaching me and asking for promotion, for sponsorship, brandship deals, etc. But the crucial moment of me starting working with other brands was our first tour in 2019. So at that time, I needed a lot of sponsors to cover the spends and to get everything going. So as you can see here, Jeep and Fiat was the brands that we reached out, and they gave us a brand new Jeep that we got as the drive, to go through all of the Europe.
So wait, let me just double check. So they gave it to you kind of like a short-term rental, or did they give you the Jeep?
Exactly. Yes. No, I'm not yet Cristiano Ronaldo, so I didn't get the Jeep completely. I got it for I don't know.
But that's still cool.
20 days.
That's awesome.
And it was good because they gave me also the full tank of gas, so I didn't have to pay for the gas.
Okay.
But yes, absolutely, because it was the new car. It was very convenient and safe for the trip, because it was 4,500 kilometers round trip. So it was a lot to cover. And at that moment, I start learning how we can help brands to reach a new audience, and how they can help us in return with either equipment, musical equipment, or in this case, car, or afterwards, of course, it's also the paid sponsorship, and everything is coming with more followers, of course.
Very cool. Yeah, that's really fun.
So yeah, there is a lot of we had more than 500 or 600 brands working. It's usually music brands that I really like to use their equipment. For example, the JLab, or I usually use the MuseScore, etc. So sometimes they reach out to us, or we reach out to them, and find how to work together and how to create good content. Cool.
All right. Well, maybe we'll hear a little bit more about that. Let's go over to your Instagram here. So this is Piano Worldwide Instagram. Nice, substantial following here, about 315,000. And like you said, you're posting pretty regularly. And I looked through it a little bit myself. Oh, this was pretty hilarious. You
have the version of Putin on my profile, somewhere below.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this. All right. So is it here?
Yeah, but it's
it's hard to find. It's hard to find.
I don't think so. Maybe you need 20 seconds of scrolling, because once the war in Russia started, I stopped putting so much.
just to play it safe, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But that was very engaged video, and got really good attention.
All right, we'll oh, here it is. Here you go. Should we play it? Yeah, let's play this one.
Yeah, you can play it.
Let's get the. Nice. The Trump one is even better with his facial expressions. So so tell me about, so is this something that somebody else made or you made, or how does it work, this particular thing?
This Putin thing I made, the Trump one, somebody else did, but I don't have credits for that one because it was lost. That is really a sad thing because there is a lot of content. I have a lot of videos on side, but for some of them I cannot find the appropriate credits. And sometimes it's good to share. I always try to credit people, but sometimes it's just lost in all of the reposts, and I cannot find it. The Putin one I made, and it was just in my room, and I was thinking, okay, let's try doing this. So it was something from early stage of content creation from my side.
Let's play this one. It's funny. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Like that part. Nice. Yeah, the facial expressions really do that one justice. I like that. So tell me a little bit about, so it seems, so this is, what's interesting, I just looked through this a little bit. Of course, this is maybe a more obvious part of your strategy, but it's like, you have sort of some generally interesting musical videos, just kind of stuff that has to do with piano generally. It looks like you're kind of combing the internet for other content and maybe sharing it. But then some of this is you, right?
Yeah.
And so you mix in yourself a little bit here with some content that you're creating, yeah?
Exactly. So on Piano Worldwide, I didn't want to create just the page where it will be Mate Jovanovic, because it's not Mate Jovanovic, it's Piano Worldwide. And people want to have the look at good piano videos, either quality or funny. But I just want to make some good collection of videos that are for everybody. And the main goal was, to share the music to everyone and to reach people that are not involved currently in piano, but maybe after they saw some funny or saw some amazing piano content and piano playing, they will maybe follow us and start liking the piano, and then they will discover the classical music and everything. Maybe they will start playing piano. I got a lot of messages from people around the world, just saying I decided that I want to start playing piano, what piano to buy, etc. So there is really a lot of people starting involving in classical and piano music, just from social media. There is a lot of, also, for example, that kid in the middle is the one that we had some collaboration with the Tunistones. It is the piano app for learning music.
Okay. Oh, I see. Is this
no, that is the Metallica spot.
Okay.
Official music video. It's but I got in touch with him, and he got some amazing videos. So we just
so you're saying he makes videos, and then you're kind of partnering with him, sharing them on your channel.
Yeah. For example, in this case, he is making videos for himself. He has his Instagram channel, but because we needed some kids playing, because I'm not anymore kid and I cannot present the music application for kids. We reach out to to various kids around the world, and we ask them if they want to join us, to get the promotion in Piano Worldwide, and to create some videos for Tunistones, the application. And happily, they really loved the app, and they were very eager to create some content. So this was some kind of collaboration where we also wanted afterwards to share some of his videos to our community.
Okay, cool. And this one I actually saw earlier. This one looks familiar to us piano technicians.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
but also, so you said credit MJ Pianos here,
Yeah.
and that looks like kind of one of us. This is like a guy
Yes,
who's got a
yeah,
business,
exactly.
a
It is
musical instrument
his video.
store. Mhm.
Exactly. I wasn't in touch with him, but I found that video, and luckily here we have the credits, so we can know where the video come from.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Cool. So is there anything, so what do you think, like someone like someone like him, I guess, right? Like this MJ
Okay.
Pianos, he's got his Instagram feed, you know, he's trying
Mhm.
to communicate with people, get some likes, get some attention, make sure people know about his business. What kind of
Mhm.
advice do you have as somebody's, you know, probably for this audience, maybe they're at this level of following, you know, a few hundred, a few
Mhm.
thousand or something like that. What kind of things do you recommend people do to kind of grow their social media following?
Yeah, well, for example, let's say for piano technician, what I would do is the same for every niche, either music or something else. You need to create at this moment. You need to create shorts. So it's Instagram Reels, on YouTube it's Shorts. So it's upright video, and you need to record something that you are doing on your job daily, but that is, very interesting. For example, for piano technician, as this one is cleaning the piano inside or outside, polishing the keys, polishing the pianos, brushing the hammers or something like that. It's very interesting for people. I saw some videos where when they are taking the keyboard from the piano and showing the hammers, and usually that videos, for example, got a lot of attention. So in this case, for piano technician, I would show a lot of how piano works, like behind the scenes of piano. So how the piano works and how you tune it. You don't need to hold the complete masterclass. You need just 20 or 30 seconds. In short, for example, we will now tune this piano. If you're a piano technician who is going from house to house to tune the pianos, I would record everything like in either in short clips, or record everything, and after that just make some edits to create 1 minute video, how you visit various pianos, how you restore it, and how you're actually doing your work. So usually people are attracting to that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Should we take a look at the YouTube? Or actually I had one more question. What
Okay.
about just like hiring someone else to do it? Do you have a recommendation? Like, how do you know that you're hiring the right person? You know, what should you expect them to do? How much would you expect to have to kind of like manage them or give them content or things like that? Do you have any thoughts about
Okay.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. We have we already have, as we have the production house and like the Instagram management and classical music management. So yeah, that is some primarily the thing that we are working with our clients. So we are either managing their Instagram from their content, or we are about creating content for them with various pianists and musicians around the world, and posting on their socials. So yeah, we have the management for Instagram, and we have our marketing team that is helping me in this kind of way. And what was the else question?
I'm just kind of like, if you are hiring someone, you know, how should that
Okay.
relationship look, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know if
okay. So yeah, because as I said, we are doing this Instagram management, and it's usually working. We are talking to clients and asking them what is their goal. Is their goal to have the better content, to have more engaging following? Does they want to have original content from their side or from our side, etc. After we have that information from him, then we create the strategy on how we are going to proceed with the next few months of growth. And after that, we just take over their Instagram, and we just start boosting with the Piano Worldwide and our other profiles, and just start flowing the audience on their channels. So we have a lot of cases when we grow up some channels from 200 followers to 10 or 15K followers in just maybe 1 year or less.
Hmm.
So it's working like that. It's everything needs to be, you cannot make just one adjustment for everyone. We
Yes.
usually try to speak with the client and see what's their desire, and then of course we are trying to make as much following as we can, but to keep on their track.
Cool. Let's take a look at the YouTube. Anything interesting to share? So you mentioned that the shorts are good for YouTube nowadays, and it almost looks like that's a lot of what you're posting here. Yeah.
Recently, yes, but if you go to the videos, maybe you can see some interesting things that we did previously. For example, you have beside the Krusty Krab, the Stevie Wonder, for example.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Should we look
Okay.
at it?
Yeah, you can hear that. That was one of my colleagues that came into the studio, and we created
now we gotta watch
a couple of original arrangements.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, yeah, you need to watch that. Sorry.
All right, skip that. All right. All right, now we get the. So is this an app or something that you connect to it or something? Like how does this work?
Yeah, it's going through the MIDI, and after that you can place the MIDI into the softwares like the C Music, Synthesia, or there is a lot of programs now.
Okay.
And after that, it's into the process of video making, and it just you just get the results like this. So it's the upright camera on the keys, and then you record the MIDI from your keyboard, and then you got this.
Perfect. So was this was this a sponsored thing? It looks like you have like a piano you're demonstrating or something.
Exactly, that was the sponsored thing. I found the light keyboard. There is Rolly keyboard that is much more famous one, and this one is called Popo Piano, and they have a great app for learning. I mean, learning. When we are talking about the classical music, you cannot learn anything beside the school, of course. But when we are talking about the people that just want to learn few songs or something like that, then this is very good thing, because they are combining their lighting system on the piano, and when it's connected to the app, once the key that you need to press, it's shown on the lighting the red. You just know what to press. So it's very interesting to. It was very interesting for me to explore the app, and I see a lot of people are interested in learning with them. So it's interesting thing, really.
Yeah. Now, how about YouTube? Have you been doing Instagram much longer than YouTube, I'm guessing, yeah?
Well, I started YouTube in 2013, so YouTube is older, but for a period of 5 years, I didn't work anything on YouTube. And I had maybe 1 or 2K followers in the 1 year ago. And at the moment they released the shorts and everything, at the moment I was thinking that YouTube is dead. The shorts came up, and I started posting them, and now we are growing very good. And I'm waiting to finish our studio, and then we are starting to produce more serious content, because once we have a lot of fans, like right now, we really need to have even better quality content.
Right. Yeah. So it sounds like the general advice today for anybody that wants to grow their social media is focus on the short videos, and whether that's
Absolutely.
on YouTube or whether that's on Instagram, that
yeah,
people
because
like those and they're popular. Yeah.
Absolutely, because that's the TikTok format initially, the upright. But both Instagram and YouTube figured that out and figured that TikTok is getting a lot of attention nowadays, and they just introduce the same thing. And somehow, the discovery showed that people are much more likely to view the shorts than longer videos, because they don't have attention, they don't have enough, energy or time to watch the 20 or 50 or 20 minutes video.
Yeah.
So
You've got to eat
there
twice
is,
as much.
yeah.
You got to eat twice as much McDonald's to watch a longer video. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. And in this case, you can watch 20 or 30 videos within that time frame.
Okay. Let's take a look at, so here's your personal Instagram, which we took a look at very quickly, but how do you treat this differently than the Piano Worldwide, and why?
Okay, on this one, it's completely my content, so it needs to be produced by me, not by Piano Worldwide team or other pianists.
Okay.
Which sometimes we are doing on Piano Worldwide. We bring other people and they're creating content for us. But in this case, because it's my official page, it needs to be just me. And I'm working here. Recently, I started being more consistent here. I wasn't working for the first 2 years because I was focusing on Piano Worldwide and other channels. But then I figured out that I need following on for myself as well. So I started posting my original content. I just get some content from my archive of concerts and competitions, and then I started also creating the content. And now I have a few people and me that are working together on brainstorming the ideas, writing them down, and then I got into the studio or somewhere else and just record it. So currently I am at stage where I gather a lot of content ideas, and I am now started recording them. And in a week or so, I will start posting again, like more continuously, more consistently. And at that point, I hope I won't miss any day, because, you know, as I said, consistency is the key of growing.
For sure. Now tell me, so let's see, this is your personal website. Yeah.
Yep.
Which we can also put, I don't think we put that in the chat, but we'll put that as well. So we got a little taste of it, and maybe we want to go in a little bit more detail of like, clearly, you know, you got to do that tour, which now it's not like, basically the topic I want to talk about is, what has this done for your career as a piano player, you know, to, you know, play music. I mean, to get a Jeep offered for you to drive around on your tour and sponsorship for that's pretty awesome. And I appreciate that sort of grassroots way of doing it, right? Because somebody else might, well, I'll wait until Steinway discovers me and then I'll, you know, but you're going out there and you're sort of putting this together to talk about what it's done for you personally as a piano player and for your career. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, first of all, a lot of people from classical world is now familiar with me and the Piano Worldwide. And once I reach out to some musicians or some halls, you know, they are immediately wants to work with me because they already know my work or something like that. They have more they have more sorry, I missed
confidence,
the word,
maybe confidence.
Confidence, yes, confidence, and confidence in me, because, you know, they see a lot of people there and they figure out they they like me. So, for example, that is the main thing. The other thing is because, you know, once I go live, there is a ton of people, like maybe a few hundreds or 1,000 people at a time, and they are listening what I'm playing. And the whole idea was just to share the good music to people. So once I go live on concert, and they are starting writing the nice comments and that they are liking the music and my playing, etc. So that is the key moment for me of the whole social media. That is the best part, when you get the nice comments and when you see that you are helping people with your music or cheering them up, etc. So that, and of course, you know, I have the chance to reach out to other musicians and to do collaboration with them, to create concerts together. I have a scheduled concert in Croatia in September this year with Matej Meštrović. He's a huge composer here in Balkan. He's from Croatia, and he debuted in Carnegie Hall 2 years ago. So it was actually my dream to work with him, and we got into contact even before Piano Worldwide. But once I started working a lot more on social medias, you know, I started contacting him and trying to you know, share his music also to our audience. And after a few months we started chatting, and then we came to the same idea that it's great to work together, and we have similar similar things that we like, and it didn't got me like the complete opportunity to play, but it got me the contacts and the ways to reach out to people and to discover more people. The other thing is, because I'm working on Instagram, I am always discovering new content, and in that way I'm discovering new young people, new pieces, new music, new etc. So it's helping me being in touch with everyone, because nowadays everyone are on the social medias.
Yeah. Again, something close to my heart. The ability to connect all over the world is really fun.
Exactly.
And great. We would never run into each other on the street.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not gonna happen. Cool. Well, we have about 5 minutes left. I'd love to maybe I'll bring up we can watch a little bit of this Ravel. And then if anybody had any questions, we could take a few questions. But we'll wrap it up pretty soon after that. How's that sound? Okay, cool. Let me do a screen share again, and we'll check out some of this Ravel recording. All right. Nice. Beautiful. We got a little bit of
Thank you.
church bells interfering with the last few pitches there.
Yes, and that was a very interesting moment because at the moment that I was playing, that was in Verona, in Italy, and it is really in the center of the town. So at the moment that I was playing, I didn't hear the bells at all. And once I finished, I just heard the bells, and then I was waiting for it to stop because I don't know, it was some celebration because it was 8 p.m. at that time, so it was ringing maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I was just waiting, and then I started playing again.
Yes, gotta love those bells. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We don't have a ton of time for any questions, but if anyone had one last minute, we can throw it in here. But really appreciate you coming on. So usually I'll take this time to, let the guests share about any places to follow what you're doing. So we did share most of those links in there, but you do have a couple others. So you have Piano Worldwide. That's easy. People could just probably search Piano Worldwide and no spaces, and they'll find it.
No,
but you also have a couple other channels that we didn't take a look at. Why don't you mention those?
Absolutely. The other two main ones are the Classical Music Worldwide, which is focused on classical music, and the Violins Worldwide, which now surpass the 100K followers. So both channels are have very good quality content. It's mostly focused because I am not playing the violin or something else. It's mostly just representing the people from violin world and from classical music world. So it's usually not monetized, and it's just I'm using the resources of Piano Worldwide just to spread also the music on classical and violins worldwide.
Perfect. Very cool. And as you said, you're a pro at this. So if anybody out there needs some assistance, you can reach out. If they go to pianoworldwide.com, there's a contact email there, right? And that'll reach you.
Absolutely. There is an email that I'm using. So sure, everyone can contact with it.
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'll do our outro. We've reached the end of another musical journey here at Piano Tech Radio Hour. Thanks again to Matej Jovanovic for joining us here today. As always, we're brought to you by Piano Technicians Masterclasses. That's cutting edge instruction from piano industry masters without leaving your home. For those of you that joined us today by signing up for this session individually, you can make your life more convenient by subscribing to Piano Tech Radio Hour at just $16 a month. You'll get the recording of today's session in our member area, as well as automatic registration for each week's new session. You could sign up at www.pianotechniciansmasterclass.com/PTRH-direct access. I got to get a short link for that. I think that's pretty ridiculous, but I'll put it in the chat here. I'll put it out on the social medias as well. If you want to sign up, we'd love to have you. And then I'm seeing, just to let you know, if you didn't see it in the chat there, Matej, some heartfelt thanks from the folks out in the audience. So thanks.
Sorry, I didn't get into this.
Yeah, just got
thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Ethan, for hosting me today. It was really fun to speak with you.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good one.